Why the gap between the rich and the poor keeps getting wider. Why does it look like the rich in society keep getting richer and the poor continue to be at the bottom despite how hard they work? What is the secret of the wealthy? Income inequality has been a significant issue discussed all around the world, and especially with the growing population and other determining factors. The situation keeps getting worse. Is it proper for some section of society to make as much wealth as they do, and for others to make what can barely feed them and their families? In today's video, we will be discussing the reasons why the gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen in a shockingly rapid manner. Hello and welcome again. Kindly remember to hit the subscribe button and like the video. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Technological advancement. With technological change, the world has seen a swift shift from manual labor to get jobs done in the quickest possible way using technological gadgets. Because of this, the occupational world has become a more thriving place for people who have had some level of technical training or formal education, leaving those who have no skills jobless and financially dependent. Economists have what they term middle-scale jobs. These are usually workspaces filled by workers who have not acquired college degrees. Because of this, more people who have skills and knowledge in the digital world and its operations have more advantage than those without, because most of their tasks have been quickly replaced by the creation of these types of machineries and equipment. This has sort of eliminated these workers from active jobs into services such as cleaning, security, etc. With these jobs, the incomes obtained are meager as compared to what those with formal education in the digital world, and therefore created a gap between those who are affluent enough to acquire these skills and reap their benefits and those who are less educated and trained. The automated system has replaced the demand for their skills and expertise. Number 2. Globalization. So, how exactly does globalization affect the gap between the rich and the poor? For starters, Wikipedia defines globalization as the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide. The advances in technology and communication especially have accelerated globalization. With more flexible international trading policies, people with less skills again have found it significantly difficult to compete with the low-skilled labor, which are relatively less expensive from other countries, mostly developing countries. There is also the problem of digitally based organizations and companies exporting their products with the use of the services of highly skilled labor, while the developed countries increase the importation of manufactured goods using the low-skilled labor from other countries who charge relatively less. Manufacturing companies who operate locally, therefore, fall through also because of the high level of importation from international competing markets who offer productivity at cheaper costs. Number 3. Falling labor. Imagine that as workers, after competing with power forces such as technological advancement and globalization, you now have to grasp the last strings of your meager income to deal with the constant problem of inflation. Well, this is what falling labor is about. Despite the constant rising in prices of goods and services, the government and other institutions have not done their bid to increase minimum wages as well as incomes of employees to correspond with an increase in their buying power. Being in competition already with international markets, technology and globalization, workers are not even able to properly bargain for what should be duly paid them. Number 4. Certain advantages. Of course, the rich enjoy certain privileges which ensure that they continue to stay at the top. For some affluent people, they are exempted from some tax charges, and the same applies to some companies and big organizations as well. It is almost absurd to expect a closing gap between the rich and the poor when those who live solely on their insufficient incomes are expected to pay heavy taxes. The children of the wealthy, in most cases, get the opportunity to attend the best schools, acquire the best training skills, which will further develop them for all the possibilities available in their future. Even for those who do not merit it, immense opportunities are always provided to them to thrive in the areas they would otherwise have failed woefully at. If you are still with us and haven't liked the video and subscribed to our channel yet, kindly do so as we proceed. Number 5. Vicious cycle. The whole cycle of the rich being more advantageous and the poor remaining at the bottom is repeated generation after generation, cycle after cycle. The wealthy have the chance to progress more, enroll their kids in the best schools, offer them prestigious training and job opportunities, while the poor, of course, being unable to provide these for themselves and other luxuries, continue to languish in abject poverty. It takes more effort for the less privileged to make something of themselves than it takes an already wealthy person. Even in the event that a poor person makes it to the top, the cycle of inequality continually persists because other factors such as technological advancement, globalization, etc., prevent the bridging of the gap of income inequality. Number 6. The rise of superstar firms. Superstar firms are highly productive, highly efficient firms, transforming lesser firms to larger productive firms. These firms have low labor share and are technologically intensive. Examples include Amazon, Apple, etc. These firms produce uniquely and are able to ward off competitors. How this works in very straightforward terms is that, unlike smaller firms who may have larger labor shares, these big companies make use of less labor to serve a higher percentage number of people, maximizing their profits and revenue. In effect, not a large portion of their returns are spent on the labor market. The disparity between the rich and the poor continues to widen with each passing day and time because of the above-mentioned factors, and unless certain measures such as increasing minimum wages, increasing employment opportunities, making tax code more progressive, etc., we have come to the end of yet again another very educative session. I hope you learned something. Remember to click on the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment. Thank you for spending your time with me. I will catch you in our next session. Bye!